So this is about the war on drugs. Ending America's war on drugs would finally unleash the therapeutic potential of psychedelics. It was only after U.S. veteran Jonathan Lebecki pulled the trigger on a loaded gun aimed at his head and it misfired that he finally decided to seek help. He had tried to commit suicide 5 times after struggling with PTSD. This is a result of 12 years in the Army. Like many ex-servicemen with mental health issues, he went to the Department of Veterans Affairs. So there was this study, and it was sponsored by the nonprofit research and educational organization, the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, and it was funded entirely by private donations. I'd imagine because this is not the easiest research to conduct.
No, but it's supposed to work.
Yeah, so they did using psychedelic drugs. They treated this person.
They've done a few tests like that, where they would use either mescaline. They would use there would be some people who go to the jungle for ayahuasca, and their experiences are mind blowing. I mean, some people talk about meeting these machine entities while they're in this kind of while they're psychonauts, as they call them. But they found that people with these kind of PTSD, for whatever reason, somehow it helps the illness.
Well, and the author of this article, by the way, a quick aside here, the author of this article, Rick Doblin, who is also the founder of MAPS, he was at the Oslo Freedom Forum that Jimmy Dore was at, and Jimmy did conduct an interview with him. So that interview will be coming out on the Jimmy Dore show shortly, I believe.
I would love to hear that one. I mean, that should be amazing. Yeah,
so
the psychedelic stuff has been fascinating. Like, they've gotten into research from, like, one of the books that I had, the guy was talking about the thing in your brain, the oh God, what is it? The pineal gland. Talking about the pineal gland being this kind of proxy to the soul and all this other stuff. It's fascinating research some of these people get into with this. But I've heard the PTSD stuff with the mushrooms or with psilocybin, or it depends on what they're using, but I don't know what they're using.
Yeah, well, the thing is that if you did more, research on it, and you did more controlled studies, you could control the dosage in a way that it's not going to be damage causing and stuff like that. So it's totally something we should be utilizing.
Absolutely.
But because of this archaic drug war, and it's so funny because when it comes to cannabis and the drug war, public opinion is so far disconnected from what our leadership says. It's unbelievable. And it's because of big pharma's hold. And I mean, the drug war, I still argue, I would say the American drug war is the biggest propaganda success story maybe in the history of this country.
Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
Blacks and hippies.
I mean, it's amazing. Well, it goes back even before that. It goes back to even the 30s, and it goes back to reefer madness. You know, they wanted to criminalize pot because there were other pharmaceuticals that they could profit off of better. Racism has something to do with it. They hated the fact that Mexicans were using it and having a good time. They hated the fact that black people were using it and having a good time. They can't have that in the United States. So they got to make this a Schedule I drug, which it still is to this day, which means it is as bad for you as heroin.
Even as a black, mind you, he had one of the things that annoyed me about Obama was Nixon did this for blacks and hippies. This idea of using this kind of political gamesmanship to say, all right, we're going to attack both of them because they were scared that both of these units were going to kind of come together, liberals and blacks. And they use pot as a way to castigate both, or they could lock both of them up. And then every night kind of say, look at these, dangerous people using these drugs and, it's a danger and everything else. The guy who was with the Nixon administration came out and said so openly, like in, I think it was Harper's Magazine. Now, you're an African-American president. You're supposedly a liberal president. I mean, they act like Obama was, like a progressive.
Well, Obama was a moderate Republican by his own admission. Obama said it. He's like, I am a moderate Republican. He said that towards the end. Obama, and I don't know how you felt about Obama out the gate. In 2008, Kucinich was my guy. I got behind Kucinich. When Obama won, I got behind Obama because I thought, well, this is the moderate that we need. And in fact, the day Obama, I turned to my girlfriend at the time, and I was happy Obama won, especially after 8 years of Bush. I voted for Obama twice. And I turned to my girlfriend and I said, "This is the moderate that we were going to get right now. This is where we're at."
No,
and
you thought it was a moderate out the gate. See, I didn't. This was before my political awareness. I was still I had just gotten back from travel. I wasn't in the best of health, and I remember watching the election. And I saw Jesse Jackson bawling his eyes out. All of these people were so happy, and I was like, I took the hope and change line. I
took it to a degree too. I mean, I knew we had 8 years of this fringe right government.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was pretty hopeful there was going to be some change as well, and I certainly expected more than we got. Did I ever feel he was going to be our FDR? No, he wasn't. I mean, if that was ever represented in his platform, I never saw it. I mean, I always thought Obama campaigned on a center-left platform. He delivered a right-wing one.
It was the rhetoric.
So he was definitely to the right of the platform he delivered. But nonetheless, his platform was not all that progressive to begin with. He wasn't for single payer, which was why I was behind Kucinich and not him. That was one of the big reasons. The all the above approach on energy, I wasn't a big fan of that. Yeah. Of course, he all the above just meant keep on drilling, baby.
Right. Just keep doing what you're doing.
That's what he meant by all the above. He forgot those other things that were supposed to be all the above. But anyway,
it was rhetoric. That's what it was.
Well,
I mean,
of course.
You're screaming. He knew that the public was looking for something fundamentally different. And so Make America Great Again and Hope and Change are just the same thing cut for two different sides. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. No, well said, man. All right, so we got
scream Hope and Change into a mic and people believe it. They get disillusioned with your party when you don't necessarily deliver on the hope and change that you've screamed at the top of your lungs into a mic. So.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.